So the Young Black Men Service is a mental health support programme run in Coventry and Warwickshire by Coventry, Warwickshire and Worcestershire Mind. It's eligible for 11 to 30-year-olds who suffer with anything to do with their race or ethnicity. It's open to young black men of black heritage, so African or Afro-Caribbean heritage. It's around supporting their challenges around racism, around their culture, cultural barriers, understanding their identity and who they are within the community. So to be referred onto the programme, young people can self-refer. They can be referred by professionals, including the police, schools, social workers, but they can also be referred by parents, carers, guardians, neighbours and friends. So the service was set up due to there being an identified increased number of black men, young and middle-aged, within mental health services, institutionalised through prisons as well. And that's been identified that there's a disconnect with black men, especially with early intervention and prevention schemes. So we've tried to make this more accessible to them by showing them people that they can see themselves in, positive role models and people that understand the culture and perhaps the needs of those young people. Young black men often face a lot of stigmas around being able to openly express and have safe spaces to talk. It's also quite hard for young black men to be able to express themselves as black men and talk about black problems with mental health services due to disconnect and misunderstanding. There's also issues around potential systematic racism where people are not necessarily treated or understood to be treated equally within these services. So this leads to social isolation and a breakdown in relationships, which then contributes to young black men not really accessing the support services that they need.
So our worker, we have for two kinds of support to young men. So we have for one-to-one support and group support. I tend to work with them is I'm focusing on empowering these young men. I'm focusing on building that resilience. I'm focusing on being a role model to these young men and creating a space where mental health can be spoken about. Because in the black community, there's so much stigma around mental health. Their parents, probably the first generation parents, they don't know about mental health. They don't feel safe to my parents about this stuff. So what I'm trying to do in my session, I'm trying to create that rapport with these young men I'm working with and kind of making them understand that mental health isn't a bad thing. Everyone struggles with mental health. With the group work, we offer 6 group sessions. So the group work takes place in schools, communities and colleges and stuff. Wherever there's a group of young men who need that support, we can offer it them as a group. So I create 5 workshops. I have the initial session with them where I'll meet them. It's more of a light session, the first one. I'll meet them, talk about what their needs are, what they're struggling with. And I'll kind of go away and I'll make the workshop based on that group. So the workshop vary. It can be things to do with building a strong self-esteem, things to do with emotional regulation, dealing with anger. Because there's a lot of pent-up anger in these young men. I've noticed that it could do with things like navigating life with parents. There's that relationship with parents might not be good. I'm there to support them in that. Things to do with celebrating their cultural resilience. Because a lot of these young men as well, I noticed that some of them aren't proud of being black. They're not proud of their culture. Their culture is seen inferior just to the racism stereotype they receive from school, from students, from just anything in the system as well. I'm just there to show them to celebrate their culture and express to them that it is okay to be black. It is good to be black.
So the impact that the service has had, we're currently seeing in the first year around about 200 young people who have access to early prevention service, which is a massive increase on previous years. We've had a lot of great feedback from schools and teachers where young people are now engaging with ourselves and then also with the wider community, including the school teachers. One comment from a school teacher, for example, was that this young person has never spoken to anybody about any of their issues before. We also see young people expressing external challenges such as gang-related things, criminality, and stuff like that as well. So the impact is massive.
Yeah, so that had major impact, whether it's in one-to-ones or it's in a group workshop. I know it's a big change in everyone we work with. I remember, and there's one specific example of this young person. When I first met him, I was joined by his youth justice worker as he had committed a really serious crime at the time. And he was just around the wrong people. He was doing the wrong things. He was skipping schools. He didn't care about his future. He had no real ambition. He just glamorized the crime life, the the gang life too much. And with hard work with him and with motivation and believing in him and pushing him, working with mom, working with school, now he attends all his lessons, interventions. He's seen his GCSEs now. He's planning on going to college to study music and engineering. His life's on a better track now. We've got involved in the basketball team, so now he's around people who motivate him to be better, with good friends, positive friends who influence him in a positive way. His life is kind of, I just flipped around, and who would know without the service where he'd be right now, what he'd be doing, making the same mistakes, doing the same things.
So next for the program, we're currently opening up and expanding. We have 2 new roles starting within our team as well. So the team has expanded so we can give access to more young people. Moving forward for the legacy of the program, we're looking to support young people with employment and education. We're trying to make exit pathways for young people so that they can continue to work. We have mentors who will support young people as well moving forward. We have lived by experience that we're looking to put together for young people so that we're informing our practice correctly moving forward. We're also looking at the possibility of creating a youth board of young people who can influence and inform other organisations and decision makers within Coventry and Warwickshire as well. We also are planning to bring together a group of local community black leaders, black community businesses, black businesses, and we're also hoping that in the bigger picture of things around Coventry and Warwickshire that they will also be able to support and inform equality, diversion and inclusion amongst other organisations and within the Coventry and Warwickshire and wider areas.